Your routes and different things. How excited were you for him to be promoted to full-time tight ends coach?
I was super excited. He's a very intelligent guy, and he's a good culture guy for the room for us. So I think he's a big help for us.
What about him is good for the culture of the team?
He's a player's coach. He's going to ride for us regardless of what's going on, and he's not afraid to coach us. He's going to get what's best out of us, and he's a guy you can trust and go to war with.
Cade, you just talked to Joe. What have you seen from his development? He had a hard year last year on and off the field.
Joe's development?
Yeah. What do you think of him? Just Joe Roy.
He was great. That's one of my best friends. He's a really, really good kid. He's grown up a lot. He's going to continue to grow up, and he's just scratching. Just scratching how good he can really, really be. I think you guys are going to see that. So.
In what ways is he just scratching that surface?
Always, blocking wise, receiving wise, and just overall maturity of being on your own really as an adult. He's really grown up a lot in that aspect.
Okay, what do you take us through your thought process a little bit? Thought process of why you wanted to stay and play another year here at Ohio State?
A lot of it had to do with I just felt like there was more. I feel like there's more for me to, as good as the year as what the team had and everything, there's more left. I felt uneasy. I don't feel enough. I ever forgive myself leaving a place like this that I've put so much into on a note like that. So when I thought with Key getting the job now, I'm going to have a different side of development than I did before. And nothing against Coach. Coach Wilson was awesome. Still stay in contact with him to this day because he was such an important figure for me. But I just felt like there's more to do and more left, and I think I can be 10 times better than what I was. So that's what I'm going to work towards.
Cade, what do you look at as the biggest things you can accomplish this year that maybe you haven't accomplished yet?
Winning ball games. That's really, I want to stay as healthy as possible, and I want to be as fast and physical as possible I can, and just clean up nuances that really you couldn't focus on because it was your first, that was my first year playing tight end really. So, now you got a year under your belt, you get a little more, you see a little bit more, and you can play a little faster and see things before it actually happens sometimes. So I'm excited to see how much my mind can change when I play a little bit.
What was it like, because I haven't gotten to ask you this, what was it like to playoff semifinal going on? You're going to play a big role that does appear, and suddenly you're on your way to the hospital while these guys are continuing to play. How tough was that, Cade? Obviously, physically, you needed some help, but what was that like just from a mental exercise to go through?
Probably one of the hardest days of my life, hardest moment of my life for sure so far. You wait your whole life to get to that point and have an opportunity to play in that point, and that happens. But I have my mom, my dad with me, so it was hard. It's kind of even hard to talk about, to be honest with you, because that team was close, and that was a special team, and I wanted to see do well like that. So for me not to be out there with them hurt bad, and still kind of stinks these days.
Did that all play a role in you opting to come back too? How, in what respect? Just unfinished business, or what?
I don't know. It's not really a feeling. It just kind of came cause I didn't know, going into the team at Northweek last year, I didn't know what was going to happen, and then that happened, and then this happened, and it just felt like something's telling me you got more to do, and I just felt like I did, and that's why I came back.
Can you explain to people how much better you are as a tight end compared to this time a year ago? Obviously, you played linebacker in the Rose Bowl. We all, suck. But what can you quantify or qualify how much you've improved, or whatever word you want to use there? Where do you know you've gotten better? I guess Go ahead.
A year's development for a 21-year-old kid is tremendous.
Yeah.
So it's really what I can get.
How much have you, it took a while for you to embrace being a tight end. Was it something you agreed to do, accepted doing? I don't know if embrace is necessarily the word. Have you embraced it?
Yeah, I love playing tight end. That feels like it's home for me. That's where I feel like I am going to spend my time there. yeah, so I like playing it. I feel good playing it. I feel comfortable playing it now. So I'm excited to see what this year holds for us as a team.
So you can have a new quarterback.
Yep.
Obviously, describe your level of faith in those guys.
Oh, that'd be great. I don't have any. I mean, people kind of brought that up coming back, like who's going to throw you the ball and stuff. And I mean, spoilers, we're with CJ. I mean, I trust these guys' development. I trust these young quarterbacks. Whoever it's going to be, they're both playing great right now. So I trust whoever's going to be throwing me the ball.
When you were in the hospital on the way, were you able to even follow what was going on in the game? And what was that experience like?
You know, before I went to MRI, we were up by a touchdown, I think. And then I came out, and that was over. And I saw the highlight of it, what happened and stuff. So
You weren't able to follow it during the game?
no, I was.
And what was that like when you realized, jeez?
That hurt. I just felt for the. I mean, not even me. I didn't give a shit about how I felt. It hurt for everybody else. And these dudes that they pour like nobody realizes like how much we really go through together. Like when you're on the wall for somebody puking during mat drills like that, as nasty as that is and as weird as that is, I mean that's something that bonds you like for a while. And to see that happen, that hurt. But I know, I mean, just full of such good people that it's hard to see that happen to good people.
So, Cade, what do you remember specifically, Cade, about how you saw the final score, or maybe how you saw the last play of the game?
I came out, the MRI wheeled me back to the room, and the TV was on the game, and it had just confetti for Georgia.
I think it seemed like it was a pretty severe injury at the time. Like, are you surprised that you're back so quickly?
No. Not really. No, I'm not. Because I mean, just a bone.
That's the bone.
And it really wasn't. It wasn't on my like. It wasn't like a. It wasn't on my spine. It's like a little, whatever it was. It was just a hairline fracture stuff, but it just caused all those nerves and stuff just to kind of.
So were you always going to be back for full-time spring? Was it never an option to miss anything this spring?
Oh yeah, that was never. Yeah, we're not missing ball.
Has that injury affected your reckless abandon
No.
approach?
Might probably double it, to be honest with you.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
Why not?
you came through the other end.
Yeah.
And when you went down, did you realize this is not just something I can play through? This is like, oh no.
Yeah. I got up and you were like, normally, I mean, I can pop up and shake whatever you got out. And, but then as we got looking at the sideline and stuff, I kind of was like, okay, like something going on here.
You're making it, I think, very clear how real all this is to you, how important all this is to you. Can you just describe a little bit, like when a season ends like that, right? It's tough for everybody, just how it's affecting how you're thinking about things, how it's fueling you, motivating you, all that stuff.
You live this all year round, whether you want to or not. As much as I love like going home on a farm and stuff, it's always in the back of your mind. Like we got me, Tommy Steele, and Omeka got the opportunity to go on that Buckeye Cruise for cancer, and that was a great time. But in the back of your mind, you're just always, I got to get back, I got to train. Like you feel like you're losing a step somehow, and we live this. And I mean, all the other people you realize, you see us on Saturdays, you see us 10 weeks on Saturdays, and then you don't see what's going on right now. You don't see what goes on this summer. And it's easy to be like, God, like, but we're working so hard for such limited opportunities. And that's why sometimes, like, when you, it's hard to see those kids that do work as hard as we do not get so close and not get fulfilled what we've worked for the whole entire time.
Cade, obviously you're not satisfied with last year, as you said personally, but it was a really good year focusing on the positive. Best year for an Ohio State tight end, receiving-wise, in a long time. And like you said, basically your first year playing tight end. Reflect on that, if you would, just performance that you put together last year.
It was good. I don't think anybody was expecting that. I think we sat here in August and everybody's placing bets how many catches I had, and I think it was like 8.
Single figure.
That's because your number.
Yeah, funny. But that's a credit to the guy throwing the ball. It's a credit to the other 3 guys that allow me to work single coverage. And with as good as opportunities we have and as good as players we have, it was awesome to have the opportunity to make plays. And I mean, when you fall short sometimes with things, that's what you sign up for. So you take it with a grain of salt and you keep rolling. So I mean,
What's the over under this year? 49.5.
what's that?
What's the over under this year for receptions for you?
However many times there's somebody ball, I'm just going to catch it. That's my goal.
Hey,
said-
you were captain. What are you feeling is different about this team to last year's team so far? I mean, what are you feeling that's developing, or what needs to develop at this point in the spring?
It's early. I mean,
Yeah.
it's April. Is it April now? It's the beginning of April. And like I said earlier, even 3 months, 4 months, it's a lot of time for kids to develop and a lot of time. And we're making great strides right now as a team. So defensive playing well, offense playing well. We're all just, everybody's growing up together. So I'm happy to see that, and it's fun to be around.
I don't want to hunt the last 2 questions, whatever. I want to 1B here. It's nothing to do with 1A, but a little bit. But Jelani Thurman, what's been your impression of him from the get-go? Coach Bailey says he's one of the first ones in every morning, has been working hard, etc. Just what's been your impression of him?
Yeah, he's a good kid. Growing up, good kid. It's hard when you come here young, and he's embraced that and done a good job of growing up together.
You said the injury will, double your reckless advantage rather than, hold you back. Is that something to do with, there's been saying in football, the guy who's not going full speed is the one who gets hurt, or is it something more to that? I guess I'm just trying to dig into why
you never know, you never know what's going to be your last day, what's going to be your last play, because someday it's going to come. So when you realize that, hey, you can't play the rest of that game, could you have gone harder the first 8 plays you're in there? Because if that's your last one, just like if that's it's your last time doing something, you're going to enjoy the hell out of it, right? You just don't know when that's coming. So if you got to double down on whatever you got to do, be in better shape, be in a better physical shape, mental shape, whatever it is, you're going to do it because you don't know when your last time is coming.
Okay, you guys are
Last question.
one of the best teams in college football. Everybody knows that. You also lost your last 2 games last year in tough fashion. We're sensing it from you. How would you describe where this team is, where the leaders are of this team are, just in terms of how they're feeling motivated, what they're thinking about for the fall?
Man, we're just ready to play ball. You got a couple scars on you, so we're not going to try and hide them. We're just going to try and roll with them, and we're ready to play ball.